be on the hill tonight against a team he used to play for briefly, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Welcome to the weekend, everybody. Glad you're along as always with my partner Ryan Spilborghs. I'm Drew Goodman. Rockies had a day off yesterday, and I don't know how they spent it because it had to be kind of a frustrating day after Wednesday. They had a 7-0 shutout in the first game of a doubleheader against the Dodgers, had the second game seemingly won, and then disaster struck.
That was a heartbreaking loss, and most of the guys in that Rockies dugout will tell you that that one on Wednesday night hurt them, and it hurt them bad because that was a 3-game series sweep. You lose that game that night, it's a winning of a series, but it's a 2-game swing. And so now you start coming into this month of September, and it's important that you need to play good baseball.
Absolutely, and they have been playing really good baseball, typically against the good teams in the league. They got to pick it up, as we know, against the teams that are below 500. Here is what September looks like, and 12-10 against teams above 500 in August, 0-6 below 500. That has to change.
It has to change, and when you look at September for the Rockies, this could be another winning month of September. They haven't had one dating back to September of 2009. You look at the strength of schedule, 478. That's 4th best in baseball. The Dodgers ahead of them at 3rd best, but when you look at it, 0-6 against teams under 500 in the month of August. That's pretty much unacceptable when you're that type of caliber team. If you're trying to make a push, 6.5 games out of the wild card, you have to play good baseball against everybody.
Well, this is an exciting time of year, especially for the Rockies. It's been exciting all year because every rookie that they've brought up has had a large impact on the outcome of many baseball games. Well, it's September, so some call-ups. There'll be more. Raimel Tapia, one of the top prospects in the organization, is up. Christian Bergman, we know about. Tom Murphy, we saw him briefly last year. Very well thought of prospect. Tyler Chatwood, by the way, is back. Justin Miller is back also.
I'm really looking forward to seeing Raimel Tapia. I've heard nothing but good things over his career. You talk about somebody that has the ability to put the bat on the ball, the barrel on the ball better than anybody. And he does some things a little unorthodox. 2-strike approach. He'll get into this deep, deep crouch. Think like a Tony Phillips type hitter. But every step of the way, he's hitting over 300 minor league career. He's got the talent, he's got the tools. I'm curious where you can even play him in this outfield right now when you have Dawes on the bench tonight as well.
He has a big arm, he runs well, he's the whole package also. The Rockies' very deep farm system has been on display all season long. And the next guy in line, Raimel Tapia. Jorge De La Rosa, he's 35 years young. He has been dominant at Coors Field against the Diamondbacks. It's Colorado, it's Arizona. Come on back to 20th and Blake with us. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by the 2016 Toyota Tundra and your hometown Toyota stores. By First Bank, don't pay with cash, use person-to-person transfers from First Bank. And by Southwest Airlines, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. It is a beautiful night as the Rockies get ready to take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. And welcome to the holiday weekend officially. Jorge De La Rosa in his career has been absolutely sensational against the Arizona Diamondbacks here at Coors Field. He's made 13 starts against the Diamondbacks at Coors Field, and the Rockies as a club are 12-1 in those starts. That's pretty good.
Unbelievable. It really, if you date all the way back to 2008, the Rockies, when De La Rosa starts, the team is 116-89. That's a .566 winning percentage. Any other Rocky starter in that time frame, a .443 winning percentage. A lot of games under 500. This is the guy you want on the mound to start a series.
Well, Jean Segura's had a gorgeous year in his first season in the desert. He's hitting .318 and he leads the National League in hits. Here's the Southwest batting order for Chip Hale this evening. A.J. Pollock, great story. A.J. broke his elbow right at the start of the season, and everybody thought he would be out for the whole year. He is back, and he's hitting where he customarily does, right at .300. Paul Goldschmidt, his resume is without peer. He's at .302. Then Wellington Castillo. Yasmani Tomas has had a breakout year. Tomas has 27 homers. Jake Lamb's had a great year. Brandon Drury has hurt the Rockies this year. Chris Owings and the left-hander Robbie Ray. This is a formidable lineup, particularly against lefties.
They are one game over 500, 18-17 this season against left-handed pitching. And you're right, this lineup right now, the September lineup that the Diamondbacks are throwing at the Rocks is completely different than what we've seen in the past. And you see the arsenal for Jorge De La Rosa. He has been fantastic in his last 3 starts at home, averaging about 6 2/3 during that time frame. Walks per 9 are down, strikeouts per 9 are down. All it shows me is that he's pitching to contact when he's at Coors.
Here's the 1-0, and that's in there. De La Rosa's last 7 starts been outstanding, but just 2 wins. 82 degrees our game time temperature, and that pitch misses outside. On the ground to short. Conventional alignment for the Rockies. And Adames throws out Jean Segura. Let's take a look at the gloves this evening for the Rockies. They have an outfield of Rayburn Blackmon and Carlos Gonzalez. In the infield, Arenado, Adames, LeMahieu, and Steven Cardulo. What a Wednesday it was for Steven, his 29th birthday. He hit 2 home runs, including a grand slam, 1 in each game of the doubleheader. He's getting the start at first base against the lefty. Here's A.J. Pollock. Fastball on the outer edge for a strike. Pollock started out 0 for 8 when he came off the disabled list. He beat projections by over a month, and he's 6 for his last 12. Great curveball. He had a beautiful season last year. He had .315, 20 home runs. He had 38 doubles. And then on the 1st of April, remember his elbow had been bothering him?
Yep.
There had to be something in there because he slid and it didn't look awkward really at home plate. And he just went to push himself up, and that's how he broke his elbow. So whatever that injury was, it prevented him from playing most of spring training. I don't know if there was a hairline fracture in there, but there was something going on. But they have 2 bona fide stars. Paul Goldschmidt on deck and A.J. Pollock, and they took a punch to the gut when he went down on April 1st. And the season has kind of followed suit. Spiked the splitter, and it's 2-2.
He was the one guy. It's like when you look at Charlie Blackmon in center field, and you have a table setter at the top of the lineup. In this Diamondbacks lineup, they can hit. But when you lose a center fielder like A.J. Pollock, it threw the Diamondbacks completely out of whack because the players that they had to use, they were using players out of position.
No swing, 3-2.
players like Chris Herman, who was a backup catcher, was getting starts in center field. Chris Owings was in center field. They were doing everything to try to find a center fielder because they never planned on A.J. Pollock going down.
And it messed with their order also, their batting order. 3-2 on Pollock. And a walk after being ahead a couple of strikes. So De La Rosa will work out of the stretch to Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt got off to a very slow start. He and Joey Votto, among superstars in the National League in particular, got off to very slow starts in 2016. Water always finds its level.
They're good players. Paul Goldschmidt's one of the best right-handed hitters in baseball. If he struggles for a month or a month and a half, who cares?
Goldschmidt, just a .238 hitter against De La Rosa, 5 for 21. Rockies have not seen Arizona since June.
We know De La Rosa struggles with base runners on. You've seen teams take the extra base already with A.J. Pollock at first base. A.J. has 4 stolen bases in the last 3 games that he's played. Nick Hundley's going to change timing. He's going to make sure he slide steps. For De La Rosa, when runners are on base, .323 batting average.
Very balanced at the plate, Paul Goldschmidt. What do you got on their dark grays with the blue lettering on the back?
I like the blue lettering.
I like the blue lettering. It's kind of aqua blue, right? To third, great play. Nolan, there's one. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Goldschmidt out in front of an off-speed pitch, pulls it down the third baseline. But Nolan, you can see, took an extra little step just to gather himself enough so he's able to turn his hips to make sure he's throwing a good strike to DJ at second base. And you see DJ at second stretching out like a first baseman to make sure he gets that throw from Nolan. Nice play.
Wellington Castillo with 2 outs. Castillo 7 for 16 lifetime against De La Rosa. He, along with Ricky Weeks Jr., have been problematic for De La Rosa, but Ricky Weeks Jr. now comes off the bench at this stage of his career. Runner going, and no chance for Hundley. Didn't catch the baseball. Yeah, Paul Goldschmidt will do that. He's an opportunistic base stealer. He's a very smart base runner, and that is his 22nd bag of the year.
De La Rosa will set his gaze towards home plate, and if he does the high leg kick, it's a pretty easy read for any hitter or any base runner to steal second base. It's been known to do it. We've seen other teams take advantage of it. The Cincinnati Reds exploited it in 1 game. De La Rosa will lock his sights on the catcher's glove.
Line shot, Nolan, he hangs on. That'll end the first frame. There was a walk and a man left. We'll see the Rockies on offense against the lefty Robbie Ray when we return. midst of a 9-game homestand, so 2 of 3 from the Dodgers. Charlie Blackmon batting .317. Will lead things off naturally for Colorado. Here's the Southwest batting order this evening. DJ will bat second. He had a great month of August, so did Charlie, and Nolan had a historic month as well with 36 ribbies. Then Cargo, Rayburn, Hundley, Cardullo with 2 home runs on Wednesday. Christian Adames threw out 6 hits on Wednesday. And here's the hard-throwing left-hander, Robbie Ray. He's been good at Coors Field.
He's been good his last 4 games, and he now ranks 5th in the National League in strikeouts. Primarily uses a fastball. His slider is now coming to be a very good pitch for him. Only .208 batting average against it. You look at the last 4 games for him, though. 2-1 with a 1.50 ERA and a 200 batting average. This should be an easy play for Segura at second.
1 out as Charlie's retired. That'll bring up LeMahieu. Here's the defensive alignment for Arizona. Brandon Drury and Yasmani Tomas in the outfield. There's A.J. Pollock back in center field. Lamb, Owing, Segura, Goldschmidt in the infield. Paul's a very good defensive first baseman, and Wellington Castillo is behind the plate. Yeah, they've had to mix and match quite a bit this year defensively. LeMahieu takes a strike. Home plate umpire is Bill Miller, 17-year veteran is Miller. Called a couple of World Series, 10 different postseason assignments for Miller. A couple years ago, Bill became a crew chief. A .345 average is best in the National League. Get an update on Daniel Murphy. Came in at .341 today. This ball sliced out of play. Well, how about the month of August? Charlie Blackmon, 11 home runs. That led the National League. DJ's .439 average. That led the National League. Nolan's 36 ribbies. That led the senior circuit. So the Rockies had a triple crown with the trio of typically the first 3 guys in their order. Strike 3 on the inside corner at 96. 2 outs.
Take a look at the Subaru Supermo, and he is not afraid to go inside Robbie Ray with the fastball. Has this strikeout per 9 well over 11. Hard in, maybe not quite over the plate, but well located, well received by Castillo behind home plate.
Quick update on Murphy. He's 0 for 2, so his average has dropped to .340. 36 jacks, 115 ribbies. That leads Major League Baseball. 245 RBIs the last really 11 months of baseball. There's a full month left for Nolan. He had 130 ribs last year and now 115. He's really got a great chance at eclipsing what he did a year ago, 42 home runs and 130. And those are huge numbers.
Huge numbers. I don't think Nolan ever thought, even last year when he started creeping into the 30 home run range, I don't think he ever thought he was going to get to 40.
How about this in August? Because now we keep throwing out all the impressive numbers that Nolan put up. What may be even more impressive is that he put those numbers up with a period of time in mid-August where he went 4 for 35. Remember that? I mean, that was a conversation with Wald every day. Some reporter would ask, what's wrong with Nolan? You worried about Nolan? Concerned about Nolan? Robbie Ray with a very good first frame. He has 2 strikeouts.
I'm concerned about Robbie Ray.
Well, he has a lot of ability. We'll go to the second, scoreless in Denver.
your comments and questions. You want to send those to @RootSports_RM. Don't forget to hashtag Fan Friday. We're going to talk about all the happenings in Major League Baseball, and let's start with none other than David Ortiz. Big Papi, check this out. Boston.com tweeting this: a life-size Lego replica of David Ortiz, tattoos and all. I think that is a piece of art, no doubt about it. What player would you like to see in Lego life-size format? That's the big question, Drew and Spilly.
It's not really a big question for me. I don't know, maybe for Spilly. I like Legos. I don't really need to construct a statue of somebody with Legos. I like to build buildings with Legos.
So you wouldn't want to see any baseball player as a Lego guy?
No, could care less.
I want to see Todd Helton. That would be the one I'd like to see, because I want to see how they did his facial hair, and if you would be able to change batting gloves if one Lego didn't work the right way one time. Or
Love Legos. Been to Legoland many times. It's not far from, you know, a little south of where you're from. You ever been to Legoland?
Yeah.
They see the Manhattan skyline.
You love that.
Yeah, I love that. Buildings, that's what Legos are about. People building buildings with Legos, not Legos becoming people. Leadoff base hit for Yasmani Tomas. Jake Lamb at the plate. You look at some of the stats for the Arizona Diamondbacks on offense, and you're reminded again, as we have so many times through the years with the Rockies, that this sport is all about pitching. Because they have some guys with some hefty numbers. Tomas has had a great year. Jake Lamb standing at the plate with 26 home runs, 81 driven in. Lamb was in the final five vote this year, right? With Trevor Story.
One of the better hitters in baseball, was leading at the time in extra base hits and slugging. He had all these numbers, and it's the unfortunate part about when you're on a team that's not winning. Most teams will discredit what you're doing.
Well, base hit, now a 3-0 count on Lamb. So Dela's got him right where he wants him. And now you have 2 on.
Probably the last guy you wanted to walk at this time. He was 9 for his last 73, 123 batting average.
And it's left on left.
And he was hitting 165 against lefties.
So that'll bring up Brandon Drury, who did some damage against the Rockies earlier in the year. This guy can hit. Rockies first in the league in hitting. Arizona's third. Drury 11 for his last 29 at the plate. And this should be 2. That is what Daly does so well. It's really amazing. That's why I said a moment ago, he's got him right where he wants him. He deals with traffic as well as any starting pitcher in baseball.
It's because of the split finger that he has. He has the ability to pretty much dial up a ground ball if somebody throws their swing at the split finger.
Now, do you pass on Chris Owings? Yep, Rockies are going to do that. And I always believe this is the shrewd way to play the game. Why mess around and potentially throw something a little bit fat, give up a hit to the 8th place hitter, when you can go at a guy that you have a strong likelihood of retiring? Stronger likelihood. I know you're going to strut out that Robbie Ray's hit a home run this year, and he's hitting 200, which
200
not bad.
With the homer and 2 RBIs.
So first and third after the free pass to Owings. That's off the outside corner, ball one. Robbie Ray was originally drafted by the Washington Nationals. He's out of Brentwood, Tennessee. Had he not signed with the Nationals, he was headed to Fayetteville, play for the Razorbacks. No score in the top of the second inning. Diamondbacks were off yesterday. They were in town. And this is slowly hit to first. Cardullo gets there and runs to the bag, and no harm done, despite the fact that Arizona had 2 on with nobody out. Cargo will lead it off when we return. Of the second inning, Cargo, Rayburn, and Hundley. We take a look at our office liquidators. Series storylines. Rockies want to keep playing good baseball against Arizona. They began the year against them down in Phoenix, 8-5 overall. And we talked about the threesome at the top of the lineup, how well they performed in August, keep going into September. And the Major League rosters expanded. And every team does it in a different way because the AAA season is not done. For instance, Reno is trying to win their division in the PCL. So the only guy they brought up today was Socrates Brito. There'll be more moves for Chip Hale in the coming days. There will be more moves for the Rockies in the coming days also. But Murphy is here, as we talked about. Tommy will get some catching. Really had a strong second half for Albuquerque, swinging the bat with authority. And Raimel Tapia is here. We talked about him off the top. Here's Cargo. He owns a home run against Robbie Ray. He takes a strike. In fact, 5 of the 8 position players in Walt Weiss's lineup tonight have hit a home run against Robbie Ray.
That's surprising. The last 4 starts for Robbie Ray, he has only had 1 home run that he's given up. Starts prior, 17 home runs. Mentioned earlier about the slider. He's using it more effectively down in the zone, but obviously tonight we've seen the fastball command has been there for him.
Cargo drives this ball to deep left center, but back there making the catch is Brandon Drury. He was positioned perfectly. He was sitting out there about 370 feet from home plate, and that ball went about 390 feet.
I think Cargo's ready to quit playing baseball. He has made so many hard outs of late. Drury, the athlete that he is in left field, makes a good running catch with a little leap. Bangs right into that padded outfield wall. Nice play on the Subaru Supermo.
Well, give Arizona credit. They had him defended perfectly. I mean, that ball was a shot. And you're right, Cargo's hitting some hard outs lately, just 3 for his last 35. Ryan Rayburn took a strike, going 1 on Ryan. He's hit over 300 this year against Arizona, which is a good sign because prior to this year, he was 1 for 22 against the Diamondbacks. Those were interleague matchups.
If you're curious why all the Rockies players, and you can see home plate umpire Bill Miller wearing the yellow wristband, today is September 2nd. Major League Baseball is launching a Childhood Cancer Awareness Day. It's part of the Stand Up to Cancer.
2-1 on Rayburn. That's inside. 3-1 on Ryan. Rayburn 1 for 4, a home run against Robbie Ray. Got a pitch out over the plate, fouled it back at 96. Quick bat there to stay with the fastball. It remains 3-2. Robbie Ray averages 11.23 strikeouts per 9 inning, which is the best of any left-hander who starts in baseball, and it's 3rd best overall. Scherzer's ahead of him, and Jose Fernandez of Miami. So a 1-out walk, first base runner for the Rockies. That'll bring up Hundley.
It's interesting watching Castillo go through the different pitches with Robbie Ray right there before Ray decided to throw a changeup. Castillo's first instinct was to go fastball in. Robbie Ray shook off 3 pitches before he landed on the changeup that he wanted to throw. Moral of the story sometimes is don't shake off your catcher.
Catcher knows best.
Sometimes.
And moving up will be Rayburn on a wild pitch. You spike the fastball, from a catcher's perspective, they will tell you it's the hardest pitch to block. There's an expectation when something's spinning that it may be in the dirt, but you don't usually think of a fastball in the dirt.
4-seamer on the Subaru Supermo, and not a lot of time for Castillo, even though he's set up inside. Ball looked like it had a little bit of a cut right under his glove.
Good eye from Nick. 2-0.
Oftentimes pitchers will throw hard inside to establish soft away, and vice versa. You can throw hard outside to set up soft in.
Got a little flinch from Bill Miller, but that missed, so it's 3-0. Steven Cardullo is on deck. Against the Diamondbacks, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday the Giants will be here. Monday being Labor Day is an afternoon affair. Nick takes a strike. Last 12, Nick is hit 9 of the 12, just under 300, 3 home runs, 11 driven in. He's had some big hits in there also. Kind of put the team ahead type of hits. Do it right here. No score, we're in the 2nd. And a good eye, good take. So 2 are on for the slugger named Stephen Cardullo, who took a long and circuitous route to the big leagues. And boy, did he ever arrive on Wednesday. It's our Mako big hit. Actually, our Mako big hit. That was in game 1, a home run. David Dahl up and standing on his 29th birthday, hit his first major league home run. How about the second game, a granny? That is a birthday he will never, ever forget. Great stuff. You know what's so cool about it, Spilly, and you were around for guys' first home runs and, you know, shared joy in the dugout. It just seemed like it was an extra special celebration from his teammates.
It means a lot when you see a player take this type of route to the major leagues. And I think the players appreciate it because they know how hard it is. And I know if you talk to Cardullo, he'll tell you, listen, I don't want to talk about my path coming from independent ball to the major leagues. That's just the path I took. You shouldn't look at it any different than somebody that got drafted and made it to the major leagues. But I'll argue against it, because when you go to Rockland Boulders and you're playing for a team, and Drew, you didn't even know where that was in New York.
Well, because I'll tell you what, and here's one of the reasons, is that the name was spelled wrong in the town. Mm-hmm. It was spelled P-O-N-O-M-A. It's actually Pomona, but I will acknowledge that I didn't know where Pomona was, and Pomona is about 5 minutes from where Walt grew up in Suffern, New York, and Rockland County is the next county over from me. I had never heard of that town, and I grew up about 45 minutes from there. Anyhow, the point is, he was playing in front of, you know, tens of people. Not thousands of people, not hundreds of people, tens of people.
Scouts on other teams, they said it's a great story. Members of the Dodgers, they were saying, I want to see Cardullo hit. It wasn't just the Rockies bench, and it wasn't just their dugout. That feels something when a player like this goes through that type of route to get here. Everybody in baseball that's been around the game for a long time respects what this kid has done.
He's hanging tough with 2 strikes. Well, the other thing, Spilly, he's building a little resume to get an invite back. Because as you know, it is so difficult to get to the big leagues, and every big leaguer will tell you it's even harder to stay.
The guys in the Rockies dugout, they already call Cardullo Baby Goldschmidt. I think his face looks a little like Goldie. I think his approach at the plate is a little Goldschmidt-like. Is that Cardullo or Goldschmidt?
That's Cardullo there. The previous shot was Goldschmidt. There you go. Held up. That maybe the most impressive thing for me in watching him at the plate. He has a great idea of the strike zone, and he has a great idea of his strike zone. There's a difference.
I think when we're watching him play, he's one of those type of guys that nothing's going to stick out to you. Nothing's going to jump out. Not like DJ LeMahieu. He's going to go about and grind. And I think the more we watch him play, the more you're going to really appreciate what he brings to the table.
That's a good feed by Robbie Ray, and they turn it over. 1-6-3. That'll end the inning and the threat. Rockies at 2 on. We'll go to the third, no score.
a good thing that little Rams fan doesn't know how to read scores of football games. I digress. It's a Fan Friday, and we want to get to your comments. We showed you a life-size Lego replica of Big Papi David Ortiz, and we were wondering which players you think would be fun to see in Legos. JJ chiming in, who wouldn't want to see a life-size Lego of Jackie Robinson? Couldn't agree more, JJ. Ashley said, Drew Goodman, better than a skyline made of Legos. How about Coors Field? That'd be pretty cool. And Candy asks Spilly, what would your logo statue pose look like? I hope we're going to put Spilly on camera because I got to see this pose. I need to know how to construct my Lego set next time. What do you got, Spilly? What's your pose?
I'm hoping that my pose is as a baseball player and not as a broadcaster, because I play baseball, and that's why I'm broadcasting, is because I played baseball. So hopefully I get remembered as a Lego baseball player, not a...
Show the pose. I need to see it. That's boring. What about your Grand Slam celebration?
Maybe no. How about that? I like that with the headset on, kind of both, covering before and after.
Like a Two-Face type thing, like
yeah, well,
one with the hat. And
your previous career and your current career.
Makeup, no makeup.
2-0's in there, 2-1 on Jean Segura. We have a surprise for everybody coming up. You know what the surprise is, right?
Yeah.
3-1. Segura, Pollock, and Goldschmidt here in the third. No score, only one hit in the ball game. Yasmani Tomas had that in the second. Can you name the only Diamondback, and I mentioned this because Segura is leading the league in hits, the only Diamondback to lead the league in hits?
It has to be from Stephen Drew.
Good guess. Not the right answer.
Orlando Hudson.
The O-Dog. Not the O-Dog.
What time frame do I
I got to think of the first hint I thought of giving you, and all of you folks at home, would be way too obvious.
Tony Womack.
Not Tony Womack.
Luis Gonzalez.
Luis Gonzalez.
Really?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, so I was going to say World Series hero, but then that would be really easy. This is fisted to second. DJ LeMahieu with good hands. One out. Well, if you didn't have a lot of Legos, Mark's stat is right on the money. Look at Mark's tweet. Life-size Lego Eddie Goodell.
Hashtag 1000% on base percentage.
1 for 1. And not only that, think about this.
Is that Eddie Goodell right there?
All of those guys are Eddie Goodell. They're all reasonable facsimiles of Eddie Goodell. Pollock walked his first time. He takes ball 1. Diamondbacks mentioned they were in San Francisco. They played a little 2-game set. They've had 2 days off this week, which is unusual. Monday and Thursday, scheduled days off. They split the 2-game set with the Giants. They lost 4-2 on Wednesday. But they got some good news in the loss, Billy. Shelby Miller, who was having such a rough time. He was sent down to Reno for a while. He came back, and he got the loss on Wednesday, but he pitched well. He pitched 6 innings, gave up a couple of runs, and it was a big step in the right direction for Shelby Miller. Remember, the 2 featured moves, not just for the Diamondbacks, that drew headlines nationally. All of baseball. Zach Greinke signs not with the Dodgers. He goes to Arizona for $200+ million, and he has a 4+ ERA. It's come down. So over 6 the first month of the season, as I recall.
It was Trevor Story beat him up.
Trevor Story crushed him. And then Shelby Miller in the trade, Ender Inciarte,
and Blair.
Dansby Swanson, #1 pick, goes to Atlanta. And Shelby Miller was again so bad, that misses, that he got sent down. There's Miller. Remember that performance Miller had a few years ago against the Rockies? He gave up a hit or walked somebody, and it was a hit. And then he retired the next 27 hitters. That's when he was pitching with the Cardinals. There were rumors as Goldschmidt steps up with one on. There were rumors circulating the last 48 hours that the Dodgers were talking to the Diamondbacks about trying to trade for Zack Greinke. That obviously did not happen. And then some people speculated, could it be in the offseason? And then the next rumor was that Arizona really believes they can contend next year with good health, and they're going to hold on to Greinke and see where they are maybe around the All-Star break. One and one count on Goldschmidt. Pollock could run at first. 4 walks already, 1 intentional from De La Rosa. I'm throwing the splitter for strikes. 46 pitches. Only 20 strikes, 26 out of the strike zone.
For Jorge, it just takes one good pitch and it gets him out of the inning.
Maybe that's it. Tough hop. No play. That is a really difficult play. It's you're taught not to retreat, but at third base sometimes you have to take a drop step, and there Nolan had to take the drop step.
If Nolan runs straight at this baseball, it will be a short hop, and so he takes the back step, the drop step, to try to set up his backhand, and it eats him up. Check it out on the Subaru Supermo. The top spin just jumps up just high enough that it ends up hitting Nolan in the heel of the glove.
It'll be his 9th error of the season, and I'll tell you something. Even though it doesn't look good, the other day there was a hit given on a ball to Nolan's left that went under his glove, and I think if you ask Nolan, that was a much easier play, the one that he didn't get an error on, than the one he just did get an error on. So I guess it evened out. And another chance for 2 maybe. Adames handles that, and that slides okay by Goldschmidt because he didn't come off the bag going past it. So it was a good takeout slide. 2 outs, 1st and 3rd, and that'll bring up Tomas.
I don't think the Rockies are going to be able to turn this double play based on the hop, but Goldschmidt, this is how you're supposed to turn the double play now. This is how you're supposed to slide into second. Make sure you hang on to the bag, and on the Subaru Supermo, you can see he holds on to the bag, doesn't kick his leg up, and these are the new rules under baseball where they're trying to prevent some of these takeout slides at second base, where in reality you're forcing fielders to stay on the bag.
Tough out Tomas. He has the only hit of the game, a line drive to left. .347 career hitter against the Rockies.
I don't know about you, Drew, but I took a double take when I saw how many home runs Yasmani Tomas has.
And he has an RBI single the other way, and Arizona takes a 1-0 lead. I noticed it the other day and starting to prepare, and I did the same thing you did. I said, whoa. So we haven't seen the Diamondbacks in a while. And remember last year they're saying, where's the power? Everything's an inside out swing the other way. They spent a lot of money on him.
Well, he's starting to figure it out. You miss middle part of the plate to Yasmani Tomas, and the Diamondbacks broadcasters, Bob Brenly, says Tomas since August has not missed a pitch. 10 home runs at home for Tomas. Look at the inside part of the plate. Jorge was trying to get inside under Tomas's hands, but pretty much a center cut fastball for him.
Jake Lamb takes low. Ball on a strike on Lamb, 2 outs and a run in. So the walk to Pollock ends up hurting De La Rosa. He's walked 4. Pollock comes around to score. It's an unearned run. De La Rosa's concerned about that. He's trying to keep the Diamondbacks off the scoreboard. As many runs as Nolan Arenado saves over third base. Good pitch.
This needs to be Jorge's spot of the lineup where he gets the out. Jake Lamb has been struggling. I mentioned 9 for his last 73, but over the course of the season, he has struggled significantly against left-handed pitchers. 165 batting average. This has to be your out. Intercepted down the left field line. Nice catch. Look, cover 2.
You're in full football mode, aren't you?
Took it from the guy in the blue shirt.
Nick's got a hustle, and he makes a good throw to Cardullo on the in foul ground to end the inning. An unearned run. Arizona leads at 1-0. Sports is brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. By CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Bank of America, life's better when we're connected. Rockies down 1-0. Christian Adames, who had 6 hits in the doubleheader on Wednesday to face Robbie Ray, 8-9-1. And in from the right side, he takes a strike at the knees. 0-1. Now, Christian had been scuffling with the bat, but he put together quite a Wednesday. Season high 3 hits in the first game, and show wasn't a fluke. He went and did it in game 2. Here's some of his highlights from Wednesday.
Start the day with your batting average under 200. You leave the day, leave the yard, hitting about 220. It's doing some work.
Game got easy again. 1 out as Jake Lamb makes that play. Well, we told you a little while ago that we had a surprise. Here it is. He's
It's not
back.
really a surprise.
He's back.
What are you talking? It's not a surprise.
It's
I
a
was
surprise.
here earlier.
I know you were here, but you haven't been on the.
Yeah,
you
I
were.
was.
You were on the pregame.
I was on a
But now
pregame.
you're-
You were eating.
I was eating.
Again.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Billy
How
and
you
I were
been?
working. Billy and I were working.
You doing well? I know how
I'm
you're
doing great.
This is for
I'm
everybody
doing
else.
really, really well. Thank you for asking. I feel great.
People, you know, a question I get, maybe more than any other. Hey, you talked to George? I said, yeah. I talked to him like 5 times a week.
That's because I was counseling you.
There's some of that.
I was having fun. No, in all honesty, yeah, Drew and I talk quite a bit. Billy and I'll text every now and then. Sully, Huey, all of us, Jenny. I tried to stay in touch. You know, people say, what do you miss about the broadcast? I don't miss about sitting down and doing the broadcast. I miss friends, and that's what you do. And I mean, in the game, you miss a lot. You have a lot of friends in the game. And when you've been around where you know, 42 and your head's gray, you know, you got a lot of friends.
What?
Been around 42 years in the
you've
game.
been around 42 years. Oh, I thought you were trying to claim that you were
62.
42.
Oh, no.
I was like,
no.
what?
No, just watch me
Because
walk.
I had to
I'm
call.
100.
I had to call you out. on
Yeah,
that
there you
one.
go. No, it's all good. I'm having fun. Team, I've watched the team from afar, obviously, and they've played really well. It's been fun.
How excited are you about the starting pitching that's not only here, but the starting pitching, as you know, George, because you know our system, the Rocky system, very well, the starting pitching that's on its way?
Well, I think the big thing for me, and I'm going to back it up a little bit, Bill Smith got beat up for years. Can't draft pitching, never develops any pitching. We don't have pitching in our organization, and you look up what is it, 4/5 of the rotation time. The closer was his with Estevez for a while. Is that how you say his name?
Estevez, yes.
That was close. You knew who I meant.
I knew who you
meant. And then, you know, poor Scotty Oberg had just got called back up again. Here's your guy in the 7th, 8th inning, unfortunately, to his injury. But you look through the rotation and you look down in the minor leagues, and what's coming is really good.
Yeah.
And so I think it's the first time really till I go all the way back, what was it, 05, 06, 07, where you had Ismail Rogers, you had Shashin, you had Ubaldo, you had these guys coming that were really, really good.
Yeah.
And you knew that they were coming, you know?
I would say this, Billy, and I've talked a lot about this. You and I have talked a lot about it. You and I have talked about it on the phone. I think, and this is not to be disrespectful to the group that had Matt Holliday and Brad Hopp and Ryan Spilborghs and Corey Sullivan, I think this group has a chance, and we'll continue this conversation in a moment, to be even better than your group was, Billy.
I mean, I got to stick around. I can't go.
You can't go.
Not yet.
You can't. We'll lock you into that seat. There's a seatbelt on that
Dude,
thing now.
I'm getting, you're close.
1-0 Arizona.
What else does it say? Score 7 or more runs, you get them all free. Isn't it free? It's not free.
For how many years did we do it? It hasn't changed.
I was gone whenever you read that.
You just gave away tons of tacos for free at Taco Bell.
Score 7 runs. We're gonna. Yeah, that's
can't
right.
do that.
You can't. Okay. I'm sorry. I thought you could.
If the
They're free.
Rockies score 7 or more runs, go to your favorite Taco Bell location.
And if you
next day
have
between
ticket
4 and 6.
22 in section 238, Drew will give you a flat screen TV if they score 7 or more. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wait a minute. He's got to give one for every error he made in the inning in the fantasy game, and
that's a
with
good point.
6. You got to give away 6 flat screens.
I get more errors every time you come by.
You get a lot of yellow ropes. I know that. You
I
don't
have
get
collected a few
Hey,
of those.
tomorrow's a big day because tomorrow's fantasy camp game tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. 8:30 right here in the ballpark. So we got 61 guys coming tomorrow morning.
That is terrific. I've played in them before. A lot of fun. Get to play on. It's great.
You're playing at Coors Field. They got a beautiful meal for them and all those kind of things for rats, another base hit. So now, you know, they come back in again, and then of course fantasy camp's coming up at the end of January. And even though I'm retired, I still go down as
You're
the
still the
commissioner.
commissioner, right?
I'm the commissioner,
Okay.
so I get to find Drew all the time. I leave Spilly alone, kinda, and you know, we have a lot of fun down there. I think last year we had our largest camp, 104 players.
It was awesome.
And it was a blast. Todd came last year. Todd Helton was there, and of course Brad Hobb, Jeff Francis. I mean,
Yes,
Josh
and-
Fogg, Fuentes, Houston, Sullivan, Spilborgs, Goodman, and I'm trying to get Jenny to come.
How many? You know what? She's got to come.
I want
Jenny's
Jenny
a
to
great
come.
athlete.
Yeah, I really do. She's really, really good, and I wanted her to come down to fantasy camp. Now it's whether she comes or not, I don't know.
Thank
But I'm
you,
trying.
George. Finally, I want to be your assistant commissioner.
I'm
No,
in.
Is
You're
that
in.
job available?
Hey,
No,
girl,
you're playing.
I want to carry
You're playing.
George's clipboard
And coffee.
and help him with the jokes.
And donuts.
Jenny,
For Kangaroo
Jenny,
Court. Yes.
Jenny, you can play, and then if you want to be his assistant, what you would get to do is you get to drive his golf cart because he has his own Frazier mobile.
That's
I do.
perfect. I love
do.
it.
I do.
I play second base and I bunt a lot.
Bust
okay?
out the goggles,
can't bunt.
Jenny.
No,
You're
you
gonna
can't
play.
bunt.
No bunting.
You'll get. How much would you find Jenny if she bunted?
A lot.
That
A
would
lot.
be really
What if it's
costly,
a slap
Jenny.
bunt?
Just bring a lot. That's
What
all
if
I'll
it's a
tell you.
slap bunt?
I don't care.
Any kind
Swing
of
the
bunt,
bat.
Just
Jenny.
bring a lot of dough for
Bring
all
a
my
lot
fines.
of money, and we do take American Express,
Oh,
so
good.
you're covered.
Okay, good.
And you can, if you're really good about it, you can expense it to Root, and they'll pay it.
Can I start a tab for Spilly with
Because
Spilly?
Drew's been expensing it for the last 3 years, and it's like up to
Perfect.
800 right now.
You said it, George, so it's true.
It's true. I'm just telling
Perfect.
you. I've never lied. Yeah,
Okay. I'll be there.
yeah. But we have a lot of fun at fantasy camp. A lot of guys have been coming back and back and back. And of course, we had Lou last year. Was back for the second year. Lou's 90, I think. Right?
Well, he
Lou
was wearing
Dunlap.
90. He
90
wore,
or
yeah,
91?
No,
He's
he
gonna
wore
be 91 this
He'll
year.
be 91 this year, and I had to find him the first camp because he had his pants on backwards. And I said, "How did you get your pants on backwards?" Well, I just belted and did everything in the beginning, just slipped them on. His pockets were out front. It was a little rough.
It was a sensible answer.
Well, that's a great
Oh,
answer.
no, that's not a good throw. It goes up the right field line. One run is scored. Here comes another run. Owings is going to score. And that error cost 2 runs. Robbie Ray lays down a bunt. De La Rosa spiked the ball to first base, and the Rockies. Listen, we were talking about this at the top of the broadcast. We've talked about it a lot lately, that the Rockies seem to play the level of their competition. This is bad baseball. They played sloppy baseball more frequently against the teams that are below 500. This is an example of that.
And I think it would surprise you when you look at how many errors the Rockies pitching staff has had this year. It's one of the tops in baseball, and that's not a good thing to be. 20 for the Rockies pitchers this season.
Well, part of that too, and I'm not trying
Second
to
in the major leagues.
not trying to jump in here. Who's first? And then I love to do that to Dougie. I love to do that to Dougie. Who's first? Milwaukee. Imagine that. So the biggest thing when you feel the ball as a pitcher out in front of that, you want to get a little crow hop in so you got your balance. And it looked like De La Rosa kind of locked his hips up when he went to throw. So you kind of your lower half's going one direction, the upper half's going another, and you cut it off. Next thing you know, you bounce it in the ground. Oh well.
Why, George, why is it that so many pitchers struggle to throw to bases?
I say the same thing when I watch you in fantasy camp throwing to first. How hard is it to throw to first base? You know, Drew, I don't know. A lot of times, see how he's not balanced?
Never
the
set
hips
his
lock,
feet.
right? I mean, you know, and that's the thing about it. You go, okay, I don't want to throw it over his head, so I throw a nasty sinker and hope he picks it. And I think the luxury for what, 19 years, Todd Helton caught everything at first base. He didn't miss many.
Well, that's a Gold Glove second baseman that
He
had no shot
He had
either.
no shot. I mean, he's moving. He's trying to get a foot on the bag. And Pollock with 1 out. Ray at second base. The Rockies down 3-0. The Rockies do not have a hit yet.
That's obviously not the way you wanted things to go. I didn't show up to watch this. Let's go.
friends sending you tweets.
Who?
George, Diane.
What? Hi, Diane. How are you? It's good to see Marilyn. She was outside the door still. I see you guys didn't run her off yet. I love her.
Marilyn is in charge.
She's
out
a
there,
fixture. You're in
George.
line. She is. She's
You know,
great.
I'm going to share something that every day when we come in, she'll,
Right.
you know, we say hello and talk for a little while. And Marilyn, who's awesome. Marilyn has great grandchildren now. Did
Yes,
you know
she
that?
does.
She has great
I
grandchildren.
know that. They're in the horse shows.
Marilyn will ask us, do you have any guests coming tonight? And I said, well, because she told me, she goes, you know George here? I said, yeah, I know George here. And then then her next question was, do you have any guests tonight? And I said, any guests? I said, is that not enough, having to deal with you?
Well, for a short time frame, very, very short. And I'm glad I wore blue because you guys wore blue. I just missed the tie and the coat.
I had to loosen. It's warm in here. I had to loosen up the tie a little bit.
You did. It's a little hot. I can't believe they made you wear coat and tie. I mean, I know it's September, but it's a vacation time. And why didn't you put your foot down like you used to, Drew?
Do you know, I pick my spots now with Tavis, our producer, and so
You didn't negotiate at all.
No, you know
Bad
what he said?
negotiator.
He sent out the
Yes.
email yesterday. He said ties to jacket and ties tonight because
Yeah.
it was going to be not
Right.
quite warm enough. And then the
Sit
next
down.
3 days, as this ball is headed off the wall, and Goldschmidt has driven in Robbie Ray. Goldschmidt has now reached in 49 straight games against the Rockies. That is a new record. He used to share it with Mike Piazza, and it's 4-0 Arizona as Goldschmidt drives in his 79th.
You'd see Jorge trying to get the cutter inside underneath Goldschmidt's hands, and that is not inside enough. You leave a pitch middle part of the plate, and Goldschmidt handles the ball down in the zone. He wanted that to be a better pitch, and needed to be farther towards his back foot. You see the company that Paul Goldschmidt now ranks amongst Mike Piazza, Ryan Klesko, Barry Bonds, and a great player with the Pittsburgh Pirates for a long time, Al Martin.
Goldschmidt takes off for third, and he'll steal it standing up.
No coverage, playing deep, wasn't he? 2 outs. Arenado stayed back.
De La Rosa's given up quite a few stolen bases this year, which is really unusual for a lefty, but he has that slight hesitation in his delivery, Spilly.
Well, he sets his sights. He never looks back. And for base runners, it's a really easy read. Just watch him lock into home plate. As soon as he lifts his legs, you go.
Castillo drives him in, 5-0.
Blame it on George. It's easy to do. But you're right, Spilly, what he said here, and you watch him come set it on the mound, and you don't even look back, and you were a base stealer, you know that. I mean, you know what they are. They've got stats for how many raindrops in 15 seconds hit. They know how many times a pitcher looks home with a runner on second. They've got it all figured out prior to. Never looks go on the first pitch. So we're looking forward to fantasy camp again. You're going to be there.
I will be there. I can't wait.
You're one of the all-star coaches too, by the way. I want to admit, I have a lot of campers tell me Spilly is outstanding, always upbeat, laughing, joking, making fun for those guys, and that's the biggest thing. We're just trying to make it fun for all of them to come out here.
That's
I'm
a
out
fair
here.
ball.
Y'all.
Yasmani Tomas in the left field corner. Castillo will get a stop sign. Yeah, you've been a
I'm
boatload
done.
of
See
good
you
luck.
later. Yeah, I'm out. Wow.
3 for 3 now for Yasmani Tomas. The Rockies keep trying to go inside. You see a little two-seam action. Again, if you miss middle part of the plate, Tomas is going to make you pay. He's in one of those zones.
Spilly, how much did you look at the previous start at the best pitch he might have had, which was the cutter in, let's say?
All the
Because
time.
I'm looking at these two guys just swung a bat 3 in a row, actually. And they really opened their front side early on the pitch. It's not like, okay, this isn't a slider. We know this is a cutter. It's in. I'm going to sit on it.
All the time. You always look at the previous start, and when you look at the last start for De La Rosa, if he was coming into right-handers, which he was, you can cheat on it.
Second and third for Jake Lamb, the 9th man to hit here in the 4th inning. That has produced 4 runs for Arizona. The strikeout of the ballgame for De La Rosa was Jake Lamb last frame. So fantasy camp's the last week, George, of January?
Last week in January, you can sign up, get a hold of Beverly. You know, she does such good. Beverly Coleman does just a wonderful, wonderful job along with Jason Fleming in organizing. Katie Shepard works everything really hard. Then the Empire staff of guys that come around.
There's the third out. Frazier going to stay with us. Jake Lamb.
I am?
No, we're
Yes, you
getting
are. You got to stick around. You got to do better than you just did. That's for sure. 5-0 Arizona.
Of the 4th. You'll see those yellow wristbands. Billy mentioned it earlier in the broadcast. Those are for childhood cancer awareness. September is the month to activate that, and yellow is the color. So these yellow ribbons and those yellow wristbands have been seen everywhere. I'm wearing a yellow ribbon. Jason Mott is behind a lot of this with the Jason Mott Foundation and Strikeout Cancer. In fact, he was able to tweet today a picture of guys from around the league wearing their Strikeout for Cancer shirts. He even handed out shirts to his own teammates with a special yellow backwards K. So Jason tweeting today MLB players come together for a common goal to strike out cancer, raise awareness, and show support for those fighting. So such a great cause, and I think it's really neat that Major League Baseball picked one day specifically for childhood cancer awareness, guys.
Absolutely, Jenny. One out as DJ LeMahieu grounds to second. Rockies, this is a strange one, fellas. The Rockies are down 5-0. They've been out hit 7-0. All 5 runs for Arizona are unearned. They're all unearned because the throwing error that set up the second and third, or actually scored a couple of runs.
Scorekeeper.
After that, it would have been a sacrifice with a good. There would have been one
Right.
out. The next 2 guys made outs, Segura and Pollock. So everything after that becomes unearned runs, and the Rockies are still without a hit as Nolan steps in with 1 out. Frazier, I'm going to
I'm
fine
willing to
you.
make
if
you a
don't,
bet.
If you don't do better, I'm going to fine you.
They'll fire me.
Well,
And then I'm going to make you a bet. It doesn't end up 5-0. You want to bet?
no.
I bet you whatever you want at Sam's in the morning for breakfast. What do you want to bet?
Well, I'm going to bet right now that this is kind of an issue because nobody was on the right side. Goldschmidt finally made an athletic play getting back.
Pretty good athlete.
He's a
Fun to
real
watch
good
play the
athlete.
game.
Yeah, he's terrific.
So go to ColoradoRockies.com and you could go and sign up and get a hold of Beverly. It'll lead you the path down to fantasy camp and tell you how to get there. Beverly Coleman takes the emails. She'll get back in touch with you. As I said, last year we had 104 campers, largest camp we've ever had. And we had a lot of fun there, a lot of good games. Was some good games. Did you win any games as a coach?
Of course I did. Yeah, we went 2 and 3 this year.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Was Goodman on your team?
No, that's why we won 2 games.
Why are they beating up on you so bad? You were like all state up there in Westchester, wherever you're from.
You know what? I don't know. But you just got to wear it sometimes.
Sometimes
George.
you got to wear it. That's right.
I do know that I am going to talk Jenny into going to fantasy camp.
Let's see a picture of Jenny last time she wore a baseball uniform.
Perfect.
Do we have that?
Yeah, we got it. Trust me. They got everything in the truck.
Cargo pulls this to the right side, and the Rockies have their first base hit. Cargo was owed that after the play that robbed them of a double or triple.
And then Jenny used to swing it just like it. I'm telling you, Jenny, you're coming. I'm telling you, you can wear the Cherry Creek shirt and everything.
Get those
Can I wear
goggles
my
ready.
Hey, you know,
that high?
yeah, and they got those little, what do they call those pants? What kind of?
High-waisted.
High-waisted.
Hey, Jenny.
Do you have a hat that can sit on top of my bangs like that too?
Yes,
Jenny,
I did.
That's beyond adorable. The pants are pulled up a little too high, okay? Can we call you Urkel?
Oh, it's so good because the glasses or the pants or both. I need suspenders to be Urkel. I saw him, by the way.
Did you?
As we're all digressing.
We are.
All right, guys, have fun. I'll see you tomorrow.
Where are you going?
I got work to do. I got to go. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you. It's great to see you guys. Doing a wonderful job. I listened to you at home. You guys are doing great.
Tomorrow night, too, right?
Yeah, I might.
There you go. George, he's back in the house. Hasn't brought us any luck tonight, though.
Get out of here.
Coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. Rockies prospects playing in Arizona Fall League. That's coming up. Tony Diaz is going to be the manager. I love Tony. What a terrific man. He'll be the skipper of that club. Now, Arizona, the Diamondbacks, also have a bunch of players that'll play for the Salt River Raptors. But Shane Carl, Gonzalez will be there. Sam Moll, left-handed reliever. Jerry Vasto. Ryan McMahon, he can play both corner positions. Third, he's getting a lot of work at first this year as well. Pat Valaika is a guy you know, and I call him, the Valaika playing baseball family.
That's right. All the brothers have played in professional baseball. Chris Valaika played at UC Santa Barbara and is now a coach at UCSB, so obviously I care about.
Wasn't he the guy that broke the trend? Didn't all the brothers go to UCLA?
Yes.
And then he went to Santa Barbara. There's the 1-0. That's in there, 1-1 on Brandon Drury, who's 1 for 2.
I know I liked Pat Valaika when I asked him why he didn't go to UCSB. He goes, I wanted to win baseball games. That's why I went to UCLA.
That's
like, okay, I like you.
That stung a little bit.
Okay, I like you.
That's a shot at Nolan and out at first. I thought he caught it in the air, but Nolan went ahead and finished the play. Did you get a safe call at third from Tony Randazzo? Nolan would know if it hit the dirt. I still think he caught that in the air.
So it's 2 outs.
Can you tell?
The best of the reaction of Nolan after he laid there, and I thought he was going to make some dirt angels. It looks like it hits the dirt maybe on the Subaru Supermo. We got to do some dirt angels.
Takes a rather strong arm to throw the ball falling off of one knee the other direction. throw a strike across the diamond. One out, Chris Owings. 6 for 13 lifetime against De La Rosa. 1 for 1, an intentional walk tonight. De La Rosa came into this ball game with a 196 career earned run average at Coors Field against Arizona. Personal record of 9-1 here against the Diamondbacks. Interesting thing, or maybe not so interesting, frustrating thing for De La is that when he goes to Chase Field, it's about the opposite. 1-7.
De La Rosa's ERA is not going to climb so far tonight. As we mentioned, the 5 runs on the board are all unearned.
Off the end of the bat. One ball, 2 strikes with 1 out on Chris Owings. Fly ball to right field. Cargo makes the catch.
MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is now available. Join the millions of subscribers. Watch every out-of-market game live in True HD on over 400 devices.
That'll bring up Robbie Ray. Figure this out for me, Spilly.
Okay.
At home, Arizona with that terrific lineup is 25-43, 18 games below 500. Out on the road, they're 31-34. You got nothing for me.
I've played at that stadium. That stadium, you have to have a couple extra Red Bulls. It just, there's something about the acoustics. It's not loud. Fans, they're okay. You're not selling out every night. Even when that team made it to the playoffs, in some of their stretch runs, they weren't selling out games. It's not like here at Coors Field. You'll have a Tuesday night crowd, 38,000 fans.
Great hitters park.
Great hitters park, but I don't know, it's just not a place that you get excited to play at.
Good curveball. Ray's gone. And it's the first 1-2-3 inning for De La Rosa. Rockies, speaking of offense, have to get their bats going. They have 1 hit tonight, down 5-zip.
before the Rockies haven't started out great in September. They're down 5-0 to the Diamondbacks. Hopefully a chance to get on the board here, but the first day of September, in terms of the team being on the field, have started out great because it is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and the whole team getting together today with their Strikeout Cancer shirts. And Jason Mott tweeting this photo earlier today. The Rockies rocking the Mott Foundation St. Jude's Cake for Cancer shirts this September 2nd. Hashtag Go Gold. Hashtag K-Cancer Day 16. So you can see a couple new members in the photo, as well as Raimel Tapia and Tom Murphy called up today as part of September call-ups. A pretty cool photo with the team, guys.
I like it.
That's a great photo, Jenny. Thank you. Nick Hundley will lead things off. He's in the middle of that photo in the 5th inning. Steven Cardullo and Christian Adames. The Rockies have had 3 base runners. 2 walks back-to-back in the 2nd, Rayburn and Hundley. And the base hit with 2 outs last inning from Carlos Gonzalez. That's it. After the Rockies scored 15 runs on Wednesday.
Robbie Ray's doing a great job so far of controlling the inner third of the strike zone. He's not afraid to go underneath the hands of the right-handed hitters that the Rockies are throwing out there.
Nick back up the middle, a base hit. Looks like a different player offensively the last few weeks, doesn't he?
Because he's using the big part of the plate of the field, trying to hit the ball up the middle. His swing, he talked about it with me a couple days ago, that he feels like he's throwing his A swing. That good swing, that when you get a pitch that you can handle, like that pitch right there, 2-0, when you throw your swing at it, you're gonna make solid contact.
Here's Steven Cardullo, bounced into a double play on a comebacker. Knuckles, and it's 0-2. That's what happened to Cardullo in his last at bat. He fell behind 0-2.
There are different approaches hitters can take when you have a pitcher like Robbie Ray, lefty, throwing fastballs under your hands. You can either sell out and choose, you know what, I'm looking to pull the baseball, or you can stick with your solid approach if you're looking away.
Effective coming in.
The problem with selling out, looking for pitches in, especially for a fastball, is it takes the entire outer third of the plate away from you. It is really difficult to cover any sort of off-speed pitch away, any fastball away. Oftentimes you'll hear the hitting coach tell you, hey, if you can't handle the fastball in, then look middle away, and if a pitcher is able to throw 3 pitches in that inner third, you tip your cap. Well, Robbie Ray's proving he can throw it in the inner third.
There to left, a base hit. Got a pitch he can handle. And the Rockies have 2 men on, nobody out. Well, you got to like that Steven Cardullo. Fouls off pitchers that are pitches, if you will. He got something out over the plate he could drive, and he ripped it to left field. This is why he was called up, folks. Hitting well over 300 in the PCL.
Slider, cement mixer, just hanging out over the middle part of the plate. You can see Cardullo. This pitch is away from him, and more importantly, if he's looking to cheat on the inside part of the plate, he's not touching that pitch. You saw him foul off some pitches right before fastball's in, where he's sitting behind the baseball. much like DJ LeMahieu, once you get a pitch that you can hit, you handle that off-speed pitch. Now you have mini Goldschmidt, regular-sized Goldschmidt at first base.
And Christian Adames at the plate. Takes inside. Talking to Charlie Blackmon about Cardullo and his path to the big leagues. And he said, that's what should never be lost. He has baseball skills. Too often we talk about, oh, this guy's a great athlete. This guy does this, that, the other. He jumps fast, or jumps high, runs fast, that sort of thing. Throws 95 miles an hour. Great. They're tools, but are you a baseball player? That guy who's leading off first base is a baseball player.
He's having a time of his life going and talking to Goldschmidt. Sprint out there and make sure you continue to talk to Paul.
But EY will say, don't let him distract you.
Funny thing is, as a player, especially if you look up to that type of player, you want to talk to him.
Hey, dude, you know where I was playing last year?
Hey, what's your approach? I want to know. Like, are you looking for pitches in? No, man, I'm playing first base right now. I'll tell you later.
Adames back up the middle, a base hit. Hundley around third. No throw from Pollock. The Rockies are on the board. Stay hot, Christian Adames. It's 5-1. 3 straight singles at the bottom of the Rockies lineup.
Thank you for saying that, because that is something I wanted to point out. So often we have been looking at this Rockies lineup over the last month of August. We talked about Charlie Blackmon and DJ LeMahieu, Nolan Arenado, and the numbers that they were putting up. And the numbers at the bottom of the lineup hasn't been putting up. Now you get 3 straight singles from Hundy, Cardullo, and Adames, and now you got the first run on the board. Need to have length top to bottom for this team to be able to compete and make a push.
Well, with the expanded rosters, Walt is doing something that he may or may not have done if it was August 31st. He is going to pinch hit for De La Rosa here in the bottom of the 5th inning with Murphy. So Tommy Murphy will pinch hit. He has 3 career home runs last year in 11 ball games. This guy's got a lot of pop. He had an extraordinary last 6 weeks down in Albuquerque.
Hit .330 with 19 home runs and 59 RBIs in Albuquerque. And extraordinary is putting it lightly. He turned his season around from really July on.
Well, the 33 games after the All-Star break in AAA, he hit .413 with 8 home runs, 27 RBIs, 14 doubles, and 3 triples as well. He hit .540 in the month of July with 8 home runs. .540 in a month. Murphy with a base hit. Cardullo will stop at third. It was hit so hard, and the bases are loaded for Chuck Nasty.
Welcome back, Tom Murphy. One of the adjustments he made in AAA, and you hear it so often. Make sure you don't swing so hard. Less effort. Less effort allows him to control the bat head, and you can see on the Super Mo. Robbie Ray tried to go down and in to Tom Murphy, and he quickly spun that pitch around. Cardullo getting a good first step jump, but Stu Cole's gonna make sure nobody out, bases loaded, top of the lineup. No reason to put any extra pressure on the lineup to get someone thrown out at home.
Nobody out, a run in, bases full of Rockies. And Charlie Blackmon, the right man for the assignment. 9 for 16 lifetime against Robbie Ray, and that includes an 0 for 2 tonight. He was 9 for 14 entering the ball game against Ray. Ball 1 on Charlie. Back up the middle, base hit. That'll score 2. Adames following Cardullo to the plate. Going first to third is Murphy. It's 5-3. 5 straight singles here in the 5th.
I cannot remember the last time the Rockies have put this type of inning together. 5 straight singles, you score some runs. The approach is solid. Hit the ball up the middle. Not a lot of effort on the swings, and Charlie Blackmon gets a pitch he can handle. Left on left, he keeps adding on to the numbers he already has against Robbie Ray. Check it out on the Subaru Supermo. I think when you watch Charlie Blackmon hit against Robbie Ray, it really forces him left on left. You know you have the high velocity with Robbie Ray to keep that front shoulder in. Let the ball get deep, and that's something Charlie does so well against this tough lefty.
Charlie's closing in on 70 ribbies this year out of the top spot in the lineup. He's got 67 after that knock. Here's LeMahieu. Ray concerned about Blackmon swiping second. He touched on it. One of the beautiful things about this rally is where it started. Nick Hundley in the 6th spot, Cardullo, Adames, pinch hit by Murphy. And now you're getting into the thick part of the lineup, and there's nobody out, and there's already 3 runs in. DJ's overdue for a hit. He's 0 for 2. Right? Well, he had a little drop and drive on that swing, didn't he?
I think he was cheating. I think he was looking in. 94 under his hands. The numbers 3 for 15 against Robbie Ray. Part of the reason why is because Robbie Ray will pound DJ inside. DJ looked like he cleared the hips a little early, trying to get that bat head out.
As we often say, DJ's got Robbie Ray right where he wants him. 0-2 count. DJ had a string recently of he was about 12 for 24, and all 12 hits came with 2 strikes. That's unbelievable. Well hit, but foul.
I had these numbers for DJ during that stretch, and Nolan was having a good week. He's hit 552 during the week. DJ was hitting during that same time span with 2 strikes, 562 with 2 strikes.
Crazy. DJ's .439 batting average in August led all of baseball. It's the 2nd best August average in Rockies history. Only Todd Helton had a higher August batting average. That's when he hit .476 back in 2000. At third base is Tommy Murphy. Blackmon's at first. Blackmon represents the tying run. Rockies began the frame down 5-0, and they had only 1 hit. This is a classic LeMahieu at bat. His ability to let the ball get deep, Spilly, allows him to be a good off-speed pitch hitter as well, doesn't it?
6'4" frame gives him so much plate coverage that he doesn't have to worry about it.
Jackknifed on a pitch that was close. Called the ball 1-2. lefty standards, that's not a real good move.
It's not a good move at all, but he's showing it just to keep Charlie close.
One and two.
Now he can list off a couple of the 2-strike numbers that DJ has had in the last month. Has an OPS, you know we love that number, 1,258 plate appearances with 2 strikes in the past 30 days. That's the best in baseball, obviously.
Runner going, and it's chopped to third. They're going to come home with it, and out at the plate. Lamb made a good throw. Castillo applied the tag, and Murphy is out. First and second, 1 out. It remains 5-3 Arizona.
Normally you won't see a contact play with nobody out, but when you are in a first and third double play situation, you will hear the third base coach say, go ahead. First pitch, contact, go. This ball brings Jake Lamb towards home plate. That's pretty much the only play Lamb has, with Charlie Blackmon stealing on that play unless he goes to first.
So that'll bring up Arenado. He of the 36 home runs and 115 driven in. Strikeout and a pop to shallow right. So if Charlie looks to swipe third, that's a strike. Rockies have Christian Bergman and Jordan Lyles both throwing. Just missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Another good take, 2-1.
Diamondbacks looking for the double play with Nolan at the plate. First pitch fastball in, I believe, was for show. Just trying to put it in Nolan's mind that he's not afraid to go inside. But I don't think they're ever planning on coming back inside to Nolan. We know how well he can handle the inside part of the plate.
That's a softly hit ball to right. It's going to drop, and that'll bring home a run. Blackmon will score. LeMahieu to third. It's 5-4. Ball gets away. Here comes LeMahieu. The game is tied. Now it's Arizona's turn to play sloppy baseball. 5-5 ball game. What a turn of events.
Frustrating for a pitcher like Robbie Ray. You beat Nolan inside on a pitch that looks like Nolan hits right off the end of the bat. Nolan looking for the bat, and you look at the swing, it was a great swing. Just off the end of the bat, sometimes you get lucky. Yasmani Tomas not making a good throw to first baseman Paul Goldschmidt. Not only did that cost him a run, it took the Diamondbacks at a double play down.
So Nolan gets 1 ribby, his 116. And then on the error by Tomas, the 5th and tying run scored. And of course, Nolan moves up another 90 feet. Carr goes 1 for 2. He's hit it hard twice. Cargo was trying to make it 7-5 with that swing. Jorge De La Rosa has spit the bit here, and if the Rockies score, Jorge may have an opportunity for one of his most unlikely victories in his career. In fact, you'd be hard-pressed to find one more unlikely. When you leave the game, you get pinch hit for, and it's 5-0. And you're on the wrong end of that. 2 strikes. What a strange line for De La Rosa, because
yeah, you're unscathed with your ERA goes down.
That's right. He went 5 innings. He gave up 5 runs on 7 hits, but all of the runs were unearned. And the Rockies, by the way, now have 7 hits. They began the frame with 1. The long man for Arizona's up, Godley. Zach Godley. One out, Nolan off second. And this ball is driven to left field, and it's over the head of Drury. And Arenado will score. Cargo into second with a double, and the Rockies have a 6-5 lead, and De La Rosa's on the plus side.
What a strange turn of events this game has been.
Crazy, crazy inning.
Cargo has been blistering the baseball, and even if you look at his batting average, not as high as he'd like it, but he's been driving the ball, and that ball opposite field, left on left. Catch that one, Drury.
His balls just stay hit longer than everybody else's.
That is a missile off the left field wall.
Robbie Ray entered the 5th inning with a 1-hit shutout going. He gets 1 out in the 5th. 6-5 Colorado. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Well, what a strange inning this has been. The Rockies now lead 6-5. Only 1 out. Jorge De La Rosa was trailing 5-0 when the Rockies came to bat. It began with 5 straight singles. Hundley, Cardullo, Adames, the pinch hitter Tommy Murphy, Charlie Blackmon, a 2-run single. DJ reached on a a fielder's choice. Runner thrown out at the plate, and then a single by Nolan and a double by Cargo. Voila, the Rockies are up a run. And the 9th man to hit in the inning is Ryan Rayburn, and the new pitcher is Zach Godley. Frazier just poked his head in here to boast. He said, "See, My
Goes
luck's
to
not all
radio,
that
yeah.
bad. Yeah, he went to the radio side. Rockies threw out a 6 spot. Rayburn swings and misses. It's 0-1. Zach Godley has not been in the big league game as a reliever since August of 12th in Boston. Then he was used in the rotation. This is on the ground to short. 2 outs, and that'll bring up Nick Hundley.
Well, with Nick Hundley coming to the plate, the Rockies have now plated 9 batters this inning, and I am interested to see if Nick will be part of the double switch. Tom Murphy pinch hit earlier in this inning for a base hit. And if you are going to switch, you can have Murphy come in the game and he can catch and he'll hit third next inning. So you don't have to burn through too many relievers, especially if Christian Bergman's coming in the game and we know
I think it's Lyles.
it's Lyles now, but
Yeah.
Lyles can eat up multiple innings.
Well, I don't think you'll pull Nick. I think you, especially with the expanded rosters, I don't think there's a reason to do it.
Because he had a base hit.
With the issues of the Rockies bullpen, I think you want to keep your the guy who's caught most of the innings this year, Nick Hundley, behind the plate. And that's not a knock on Tommy Murphy. It's just from a familiarity standpoint. 5+ run innings, 22 of them now for the Rockies. Rockies are run away from another game where they've scored 7+. They've done that more than anybody in baseball. And this is on the ground to short as well. Chris Owings throws across the diamond. The Rockies put up 6 in the 5th inning. 7 hits in the inning, and the Rockies now lead 6-5.
We're up 6-5 over the Diamondbacks as we head to the top of the 6th. We had a special guest in George Frazier on earlier, and all you had to do was get him out of the booth, and then the Rockies responded with some runs. You know, George wanted to show a picture of me earlier playing baseball, so let's show a picture of George. The OU Club of Colorado said nice to have OU baseball alum George Frazier's thoughts on the Rockies broadcast. Hashtag Fan Friday. We're, of course, a fan of George Frazier. Look at that young, handsome George Frazier. I'd say that's a flashback Friday. What do you think, fellas?
Wow.
That's it? You just
Lot
get a
of
wow?
hair.
Scraping the barrel for that picture.
A lot of hair. That's one of the few pictures we've seen where George didn't have a mustache. David Dahl, Jenny's in left field. Rayburn is out of the ball game. Jordan Lyles is now on the mound. Top of the order in the 6th inning. Gene Segura, A.J. Pollock, and Paul Goldschmidt for Arizona. 6-5 Rockies. First pitch from Lyles is in there for a strike. So De La Rosa goes 5 innings, 5 runs, none of them earned. 7 hits, 4 walks, 1 intentional, and 2 strikeouts. Very odd line. In fact, it's so odd. Here's the 0-1. 1-1. It is the first time a Rocky starter has ever allowed 5 runs without any of them being earned. Had never happened before. 2 balls and a strike. Well, now it's about the bullpen, and that has not been a story that the Rockies like their recent chapters. And there's a base hit. The Rockies bullpen has taken on a whole bunch of water. In fact, in the game on Wednesday, the nightcap, when they were up 8-2 going to the 8th inning, they gave up 3 that inning and then 5 in the 9th. It tied them for their largest deficit, or excuse me, largest lead ever given up going to the 8th inning. Leading by 6, needing just 6 outs. And quite honestly, that it's inexcusable. I mean, you're going to have bad nights down there. I understand that, but you're up 8-2, trying to get 6 outs. You got to win. You have to win that game.
And that game meant so much to the team. Sweep the Dodgers. You just gained 3 games on the Dodgers.
High fly ball, deep left field. Pollock has just given Arizona the lead again. Amazing. First home run this year for A.J. Pollock, a towering shot, and now it's 7-6, and the issues for the pen continue.
You don't think the Diamondbacks miss A.J. Pollock this season? Probably a different year if they have him in the lineup. See what he means to this Diamondbacks team. 2 walks on the night. First home run of the season for A.J. Quickly spun around a pitch. Subaru Supermo. A.J. just beats Jordan to the spot.
A.J.'s last home run October the 4th of last year. Again, coming off elbow surgery. Broke his elbow on April the 1st. Goldschmidt, foul tip. He's behind 0-2. De La Rosa will not get the win. Now officially gets a no decision. Robbie Ray spits the bit. It's on the bullpens. And the bullpen for the Rockies, we know how tough it's been for them. Hasn't been exactly a great year for the Diamondbacks bullpen, to say the least. The Diamondbacks have the highest ERA in the National League. Goldschmidt laughing like he's at Comedy Works, and it's a 3-2 count. Must be nice when you can laugh like that and continue at bat. That'll bring up Wellington Castillo. He had an RBI base hit in the 4th.
This Monday's Purple Monday. It's also my birthday. Download the MLB.com ballpark app and become eligible to win autographed items. Plus, the first 5,000 fans will receive a Purple Monday fall scarf. What a present. You're not allowed to give me a fall scarf as a birthday present.
I won't. I've already purchased your birthday.
Oh, you did?
gift. Yeah. I purchased it in March in preparation. It's being shipped from far away. Far away. Castillo takes a strike. Since we're on to birthday wishes, yours is coming up. Big happy birthday to Jacqueline Egan's down in Columbus, Georgia. Jacqueline is Paul's mom. Paul has been with the Rockies organization since 1991, 2 years before a first pitch was thrown. He is the Rockies' outstanding traveling secretary. This is to deep left, and Dahl's out there will make the catch. 2 outs. But Jacqueline, hope you're having a wonderful day. And I know you like that. She watches all the Rockies games. I know she liked that bottom of the 5th inning. Two gone, and here's Yasmani Tomas, who's 3 for 3. 2 singles and a double. He's got an RBI as well. Members of a bullpen, Spilly, you know this, they'll tell you they like to have a defined role. They like to know that, you know, in this situation, when the phone rings, they know that the call is for them. 7th inning, up 2 runs, they know, okay, that's my inning. 8th inning, same deal, okay, that's my inning. You know, everybody typically knows who the closer is. But it's hard to give out defined roles if you're a manager, if everybody seems to be struggling at the same time for an extended period. 7-6 Arizona, the 2-run home run by Pollock. Nothing. The Rockies took a 6-5 lead. Now Arizona has a 7-6 advantage. Time for the timeless moment, brought to you by Coors Banquet. September 2nd, 1988. I was a freshman in high school. At Stade Olympique, Jeff Houston entered his first big league game in a double switch in the top of the 8th, and he entered in the cleanup spot. Jeff did get an 8B. Struck out swinging that day. Would get his first big league hit I think in his next ball game. Montreal won the ball game 10-0 over the Giants. So 28 years ago, our Jeff Houston made his big league debut, and then he hung around a whole long time. 10 years and a week of service time for Huey. David Dahl, and the throw to first, not going to get him. Infield hit for Dahl. Or it's Tapia, excuse me. I looked down, and there's Tapia, because that's a pitcher spot. So Tapia, not the pitcher spot, he was pinch hitting for Cardullo. We'll get this straight, and it's the first big league hit for Tapia.
Yeah, it works in his favor. Jake Lamb whiffs at third base, and there he is hitting the ball opposite field. We get to see him run. Big leagues is easy.
Well, that's what he does. He gets hits in a variety of ways. We saw him a bunch during spring training. Here's Adames. That's a fair ball. And Castillo just did get him. So a sac bunt.
I like that play by Adames. He probably did that on his own. Sometimes you'll see a hitter just try and go for the drag, but knowing that even though you're out, you'll move him over. And Tapia, we get to see the wheels of this kid. I'm looking forward to seeing him. I talked to a lot of different scouts, and they all say about the same thing. They have not seen a kid that has the ability to put the barrel to the ball as often and as hard as Tapia does.
So here's Dahl. And that's pulled through the right side, a base hit. Tapia around third, and he'll come in and tie up this ball game. So it's the kids getting it done. David Dahl, Raimel Tapia. About a month and a half ago, they were teammates in Hartford.
Get a little glimpse of the future in this inning. See Raimel Tapia get his first major league hit. Godley trying to go off speed down and in to David Dahl. We've seen Dahl in this role before as a pinch hitter, coming in and being very aggressive. That's nice to see. Some athleticism coming from Tapia.
Got athleticism at first base also in Dahl. Here's Charlie Blackmon. Charlie a 2-run single last inning. He tried to call time. I think Charlie was not granted, and unfortunately for Chuck, it was outside. Ball one. So Tapia's first big league hit. First big league run scored. David Dahl with that hit has a 7-game hitting streak in which he's hitting .440. Outside from Godley. This is a game, Spilly, that you're really pleased you have last licks.
Well, I'm really pleased with the way that the Rockies' bottom half of the lineup has been producing. And I like how the Rockies have been producing runs without extra base hits. Only one extra base hit tonight for the Rockies, and that was a Carlos Gonzalez double. Otherwise, the Rockies have been singling the Diamondbacks to death tonight.
It is unusual. 10 hits at Coors Field, 9 singles, 7 runs. That is unusual. Maybe it's a foreshadowing of the extra base hits to come here in the second half of this ball game. Bottom of the 6th inning, tied at 7. Called strike, 3-1. That was a gift. 46 times the Rockies had scored 7 runs or more in a game. It's one more than the Boston Red Sox. Earlier this summer, we saw how gifted that offense is. Seems like half their lineup's an MVP candidate. 3-1. Ball 4, now 2 on, and 1 out for DJ LeMahieu. Remember Frage was trying to read this thing earlier? We should bring him back to read it because everybody gets tacos tomorrow. The Rockies with 7 runs. Don't forget to go to your participating Taco Bell locations tomorrow between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. We thank our friends at Taco Bell. Liv Moss at Taco Bell. There's a list of teams that have had Offensive explosion. 7 runs would be an offensive explosion. 46 times for the Rockies. They're going to need plenty more than that to win this game. It's 7-7. LeMahieu's 0 for 3. Strike. 2-1. Swing pitch goes in favor of LeMahieu. It's the 3rd stint in the big leagues this year for Zack Godley.
Godley originally drafted by the Chicago Cubs out of the University of Tennessee in the 10th round. Acquired in the trade that sent Miguel Montero from the Diamondbacks to the Cubs.
Rockies had a player from Tennessee that hung around for a while.
Yeah, his numbers in the rafters.
Two and 2 on DJ LeMahieu. DJ throws one out to center field, and the catch is made by Pollock. Thought that one may drop. Good read by David Dahl. Not to get doubled off. And that'll bring up Nolan with 2 gone.
Already we see how important A.J. Pollock is to the Arizona Diamondbacks. 2-run home run last inning. That play in center field is not easy. Reed swing, you can see DJ took a full hack, but something that most people don't realize, outfielders can hear the sound of the bat. You can hear when a bat gets broken. You can listen, and that allows you to make reads as well. It's not just reading the swing, you can listen to the sound of the ball off the bat.
Nolan had a bloop single to right that scored a run last inning, and then there was a miscue on the throw. Yasmani Tomas. It was really an easy play. He had to throw the ball about 75 feet to Paul Goldschmidt, and he threw it at his feet. It got past Goldschmidt. It allowed another run to score. Nolan to move to second. That's what tied up the game. And then Cargo would double in Nolan. Give the Rockies a 6-5 lead. 2-run home run by Pollock in the top of the 6th inning. Now the Rockies have got the run back. So it's 7-7. That's where we stand at the bottom of the 6th. One and one on Nolan Arenado. Dahl at second. Blackman at first. Great speed aboard. And a sharply hit ball to third. Lamb with a nice play. And that will end the inning. Raimel Tapia with his first major league plate appearance, and he bounces an infield hit to the left side. And a short time later, he'd score on this David Dahl base hit. We're tied at 7, going to the 7th.
getting his first Major League hit in his Major League debut. Christian Adames moving him over, and bada bing, bada boom, the Rockies would score a run. Well, of course, it's Fan Friday, so we're taking some pictures. This one from the Colorado Rockies. It's Tapia and Adames right before the game. Buddies, love this. They both grew up in the Dominican Republic and have made baseball a career, a special day indeed for both of them. And I know Adames, Estevez, they were all in there to welcome in Tapia. Estevez was even translating for Tapia before the game with some of the reporters. So it's just a fun fraternity for those guys, and really great to see Tapia up at the big league level. Well, thanks for joining us on a Fan Friday. Until next week, guys, we'll send it back to you. Keep the tweets coming.
All right, Jenny, thanks very much. We talked to Raimel a little bit before the ball game, and he was like this in spring training. He's got a real upbeat, bubbly personality, and he called, as you see Parra's in at first base, he had called mom and dad naturally back home in the Dominican. Said they were really excited, and now the whole neighborhood's excited because Raimel Tapia has a base hit, a run scored. Jake Lamb at the plate against Jordan Lyles. Swung on and missed.
I think when we see Gerardo Parra at first base late in the game, it's showing that Walt Weiss is starting to get some confidence with Gerardo's defensive skills at first base.
Good pitch by Lyles, strikes out Lamb. Well, did you see, and this is not unusual, did you see Parra after he took his ground balls at first this afternoon? See where he went?
Shortstop?
Shortstop. That you will not see.
Left-handed shortstop?
You won't see it.
Is that a left-handed catcher?
Possibly. There have been a few. Been a while. Dougie runs this out every year. He just rolled his eyes at you. The last one was Benny DiStefano back in 1989. Drury takes a strike.
No left-handed shortstop, though, right?
And Dougie will come up with one from the Federal League, or the American Association back in the day. And the guy will have a funny nickname. 2 outs. Speaking of great nicknames, find the latest Albuquerque Isotopes jerseys, t-shirts, novelties, and much more at abqisotopes.com. Albuquerque Isotopes, proud AAA affiliate of the Colorado Rockies. That's where Raimel just came from, along with Tommy Murphy. Rockies are going to add to the September mix as soon as the Topes are done. G. Hill did a really nice job getting that club going in the second half. At one point they'd lost 13 in a row, and they turned it around and won 9 straight.
I know I talked to Brandon Barnes, and they started Club Albuquerque, Club ABQ, and I know you can watch highlights of it on the club. And basically the guys brought a smoke machine and a disco ball, and they turned the locker room into a club after they got a win. And it's something very similar that a lot of other teams do. The Houston Astros do it, Carlos Correa does it, and the Chicago Cubs have been doing it the entire season.
They have their own party room in their new digs underneath Wrigley Field. Ball and 2 strikes on Chris Owings. Rocky 7, D-backs 7, top of 7. Back up the middle and a base hit. Adames now's got a turning fire to DJ. Did he get him? Out at second base. Owings took a gamble with 2 outs when that ball was just trickling into center field into no man's land. And a great job by Adames to sense that he had to get there in a hurry. And a good tag by LeMahieu. We're going to take a look at this on Arizona's side to see if the tag was applied. Let us check our first bank game recap. It's been a wild one. The Rockies were down 5-0. All the runs that were scored were unearned, though, for Arizona. Then the Rockies got 6 runs in the 5th inning. Arizona got a 2-run home run from A.J. Pollock. They went ahead 7-6. The Rockies got a run last inning. Tapia's first major league hit, and then a hit by Dahl to score them. And it is 7-7 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Edwin Escobar is in. This will be his 12th game. And Cargo is at the plate. He's hit it on the nose 3 times tonight. 2 for 3. And this ball is well hit to center field. Going back is Pollock, and he'll get there. So a long out. 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Let's go back and look at that tag again by DJ LeMahieu on the throw in short center from Christian Adames.
Because of the deflection off of Lyles' foot, the ball gets slowed down, and that's what allowed Chris Owings to think that he could make it to second base. It's a great play with 2 outs. Try to get that extra bag, but the snap throw from a weird spot in center field and the long arms of DJ LeMahieu to reach over and touch Chris Owings is a fantastic defensive play on both ends. Not many more second basemen in baseball that has the ability to stretch like DJ, but more importantly, DJ, we say, put your nose in it. DJ's not afraid to stick his nose and make sure he gets those tags on the base runners.
So here's Mark Reynolds, who's made a miraculous recovery from having his hamate bone
I don't know how he did it.
And he was back in like 16 days. Amazing. So he'll pinch hit. Rockies in the doubleheader against the Dodgers used him defensively at first base, and he got an at-bat in each of those ball games. 0 for 2, a couple of strikeouts. One of the concessions he's made, because it is painful still, talking to Mark, he has obviously the scar from where not even a scar, I mean the sutures were just taken out recently. So he is slid up on the bat. Here's a line drive to left. That's something else, folks. He had surgery on his hand 2+ weeks ago. And so instead of wrapping, Billy, I'll let you describe it, instead of wrapping with his palm, he is slid up so it's not putting as much pressure on it.
Oftentimes at the end of the bat, you have a knob, and when you have the knob, it can rub on the bottom of your palm. I had the same surgery in 1998. This ball's gonna hurt off the end of the bat for Mark Reynolds. I had the same surgery in 1998, and it took me about 6 months to feel comfortable to even swing the bat.
Nick Hundley at the plate with Mark Reynolds at first base. He's the go-ahead run.
So right here is where the hamate bone, you can see it's on the bottom of my palm, and the left hand is going to be the bottom hand for a right-handed hitter. You see the knob of the bat with the palm right here, it will rub. So basically what Mark Reynolds does is he moved his hands up, so now he's not rubbing on that hamate bone where the wound is, and so you can see that it's a little bit more comfortable for him. Shortens up the barrel a little bit, and he's handling it.
Now next spring, when he's fully removed from the surgery, he'll probably slide back down to his original spot.
You'll see guys even later, they'll put their hands around the knob of the bat. So you can see how my hand goes around the knob. Part of the reason why you can create a lot of extra bat whip, and you extend your barrel a couple of ½ an inch. And a lot of guys feel a lot more comfortable hitting like that, but that's how you break your hamate.
And that's where Cargo ran into some problems a couple years ago, right?
Yep. And that's why he started taping the bottom of his barrel so you didn't get that vibration off the bottom of your hand. But Drew's right. It's remarkable. 2 weeks ago, that guy just had surgery. Major league game. He's a lot tougher than I am.
Well, you remember we were speculating that, it was conceivable that Mark was done for the year.
That's what I thought based on my history with the injury. And certain guys 2 years ago is Giancarlo Stanton.
I think it speaks to a couple of things. And one, in talking to Mark, I know he wanted to be back out there as soon as he could because he believes that this team is a real special team. And going forward, when you look at the composition of the roster. And yeah, there's some issues in the bullpen that have to be straightened out, but you know, Mark's been on a lot of clubs, and he's seen some good clubs, and he's seen some clubs that struggled, and he is really excited about the future of this one. 3-2. Gerardo Parra on deck. It's fouled off. Nick's been on twice tonight. Scored a run after a base hit in the 5th. Started that rally for the Rockies when they were down 5-0. It really does seem like the last couple of weeks, every one of Nick's hits has been a very important hit.
Bottom of the lineup, you'll see it. A lot of opportunities, especially the way that Nolan was getting on base. Cargo. Opportunities will present themselves to the 6, 7, 8 hole hitter.
This is lifted to shallow left. Owings goes out and makes the catch. 2 gone.
Bring your group of 25 or more out for the final fireworks game of the season on Friday, September 30th. Tickets are still available by calling 303 Rockies today. Hopefully it's a longer firework display than that was right there.
It's going to be a little longer than that. Parra this year against the Diamondbacks hitting a cool .405. He has his first at bat of the night. Came in last inning defensively at first base.
We have noticed a little bit more patience for Gerardo of late, taking the first pitch of the at bat.
He became Joey Votto last week. He walked 3 times in 2 games. Be interesting to see how Walt plays this going forward. Does he keep Reynolds in the game at first base? Especially if it stays 7-7. The Rockies got 2 innings out of Lyles.
I think you have to.
Carlos Estevez looks like he'll be the next one into the ball game. 2-2. Big Carlos. Enrique Burgos is throwing for Arizona now in their pen. And the strikeout of Parra ends the inning. Reynolds singled. He's left at first base. We'll go to the 8th. The Rockies 7 and the Diamondbacks 7. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. By Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 club level tickets by visiting wellsfargo.com/Rockies. And by Reserve Casino Hotel, I-70 West to exit 243, Central City. Beautiful Friday night on this holiday weekend in the Mile High City. Rockies trying to kick the weekend off with a come-from-behind victory. Mark Reynolds chatting up Dave McKay is in the ball game at first base now. So the last 3 innings, 3 different first basemen for the Rockies. Steven Cardullo for an inning, Gerardo Parra. And now Mark Reynolds on the hill. Carlos Estevez. Welcome to September baseball.
A lot of scratch outs on our scorecard so far tonight. But for me, I want to see Carlos Estevez get back to commanding his fastball. His last outing against the Dodgers, 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits.
Jordan Lyles went 2 innings, gave up 2 runs, 3 hits. Didn't walk anybody, struck out 1. Another strike. It's 0-2. This is Ricky Weeks Jr., powerful guy. Number of good seasons in Milwaukee. He's hurt the Rockies this year, 6 for 13. Chip Hale was complimenting Ricky before the ball game. Look out. Wow. Look at that. That's like a pitch bag. Almost went all the way back to the mound.
Estevez looking like he's trying to go inside, and that ball got completely away from Carlos.
I'll tell you what, that's scary. That was helmet high. Slow roller, tough play. Out at first base. That's a great play by Adames. You know, Ricky Weeks can still get up the line. That was a tough pickup and then a great throw on the run by Adames.
It's all about the first step, and it's about the transfer from the ball, from the glove to your hand. Ricky still runs well down the first baseline. In between hop, it took him a second to get the ball out of the glove. Mark Reynolds, who, by the way, he has told me he is not flexible. He just stretches out to try everything he can to get that out.
Well, for a guy who's not flexible, boy, he looked like Guppy at times. That's right. Spilly, you said it best. That was a Spillyism. I love it.
Yeah, for a guy that's not flexible, he's flexible.
He's flexible. It's the best explanation yet. One on Gene Segura. That's hit in the air to Cargo and right. He's got room.
Rockies dugout stores are the place for all things Rockies, and the only place you can get the Nolan Arenado Colorado bobblehead series.
E.J. Pollock, a 2-run home run. His last at bat to give, at the time, Arizona a 7-6 lead. His first home run since returning from elbow surgery. Towering shot to left. One and two. 7 runs, 11 hits for the Rockies, 2 errors, 7 runs, 10 hits, 1 error for the Diamondbacks. The strikeout of A.J. Pollock. It's his 6th straight scoreless appearance, by the way, for Carlos Estevez. Middle of 8, tied at 7. Here's this week's CenturyLink high-speed challenge poll question. Who holds the Rockies record for the most stolen bases in franchise history? Is it EY? Is it Cargo? Is it Larry Walker? Those are your 3 choices. Go to @RootSports_RM to vote. Billy's doing it right now. New pitcher for Arizona is Enrique Burgos. League hitting .254 against him. Christian Adames is 1 for 2 and a sac bunt. He drove in a run with a single in the 5th inning. And he misses with that swing. It's 0-1. Adames is 7 for his last 11 at the plate. Burgos a big arm. So typical now of virtually everybody that comes out of a bullpen, especially on the right side. He's 95 to 98 with his fastball.
Probably has the biggest fastball out of the relief pen for the Diamondbacks, and the numbers for him are pretty good. 30 innings pitched, equal amount of strikeouts, less hits than innings pitched. It's the walks for Burgos that hurts him.
Rear back and fire.
From Panama City, Panama. Manny Corpus was from Panama.
Manny still lives in Colorado.
Yep.
With his family. That's sharply hit, and it's knocked down. Out at first base. Gene Segura hung with it.
Watching Adames run into first base, got down the line pretty good, but watch him, he took a little stutter step right before he got to first base to get his footwork. And I think that cost him the hit. Gene Segura trying to keep the ball in front of himself. Strong throw from his knees.
He was out. It's good to see Adames swinging the bat, though, the way he is. David Dahl, he had a base hit to drive in a run in his first at bat. He takes low, ball 1. David came in the ball game in left field in the 6th for Ryan Rayburn after the Rockies took the 6-5 lead. Boy, he whips that bat through the zone, doesn't he?
And he doesn't fall on his front foot trying to get that bat through the zone. You hear a quiet swing. What does a quiet swing mean? It means on the front foot, when you're landing, that front foot lands nice and soft. Allows you to keep your head still.
Good swing there by Dahl. 2-2 on the Alabama native. It's Adam Ottavino. As is the normal procedure. If you're tied at home, you bring your closer in the 9th inning. 3-2. I'm sure Adam wants to get back out there after what occurred Wednesday night. Just did not have any command and struggled with all the left-handed bats the Dodgers threw up there in the 9th. Three-two. Owings will handle it. 2 outs. The day after every Rockies win, get 50% off your online order at Papa John's. Use the promo code ROCKSWIN at papajohns.com. 2 outs, and that'll bring up Charlie Blackmon. Charlie's 1 for 3 in a walk, 2-run single in the 5th inning. 23 jacks, 67 driven in, and a batting average of .317. His workout partner in the offseason, DJ LeMahieu, they just keep getting better and better. Brought a smile to my face. Look out. Charlie gets hit again. That happens to Charlie more than anybody else on the Rockies.
Charlie took his helmet off. I don't know why. I think he's upset. Diamondbacks trying to go inside, and
that almost looked like a purpose pitch. I don't know what it would be from. I don't know if it was the pitch to Ricky Weeks, but pitchers, if they're honest, will tell you, it's one thing if it's right on right or left on left, as you know, and a ball will tail and kind of eat up a hitter. But when you are throwing across, it's right to a left-handed hitter or left to a right-handed hitter, and it's that far inside, there's usually some purpose to it.
Well, based on the reaction, Charlie Blackmon dropping his helmet at home plate, I think Charlie might have thought that had some purpose behind it.
Go first pitch. He does. Throw to second is into center field. Actually kicks toward left center.
Score. Go.
For Charlie, 1 pitch later is at third base. It'll be an error on Castillo on the throw. Stolen base, E2, allowing him to go to third. And that is the 100th stolen base in Charlie's career. Kind of figured he may go first pitch.
No doubt. High leg kick. Charlie maybe a little anger in his veins. Gets a second. That's why it's always important to keep your head up. When you're sliding, look for the baseball, and I think he got hit again.
He got hit again. And now DJ could bring him in and give the Rockies a lead going to the 9th. That would be fitting. people have come up to us from other organizations this year, whether it's coaches, managers, broadcasters, and said, boy, I'd love to have Charlie Blackmon on our team. It's the way he plays. Good swing from DJ, 2-1. Three and one with Arenado on deck. Bottom of the 8th inning, tied at 7, 2 outs. And Charlie Blackmon is at third. Inside, ball 4. So the Major League RBI leader, Nolan Arenado, coming up. He led all of baseball with 36 RBIs in August, and it wasn't close. He led Ryan Braun, who finished second in that competition in August, by 8. He already has a September RBIs. He drove in a run earlier. Here's our Kubota pitching performance. It was 2 lefties, Robbie Ray, Jorge De La Rosa, and a strange line for De La Rosa. He went 5 innings, gave up 5 runs, but all of them were unearned. Did give up 7 hits. He walked 4, so 11 base runners. And at the time that Jorge left, he was down 5-0, but in the Rockies, while he was still a pitcher record, scored 6 runs. For a very short period, he had a chance to win this game. Robbie Ray was cruising himself until the 5th, and then he could get only 1 out after giving up just 1 hit through the first 4. Strange night on our Kubota pitching performance. So here we go. Nolan against Burgos. 2 outs, 1st and 3rd, bottom of the 8th, in a tie game. Heater for strike 1, right down the middle.
Thinking back to Charlie Blackmon being hit by the pitch with 2 outs in the 8th inning. If there was some intent behind it, that's a really awkward time frame to be throwing a ball inside. So I don't think the Diamondbacks would do it, just based on the game situation.
You would think they would do it. Makes no sense.
Makes none.
One count on Arenado. Good block by Castillo. Slider. See if he goes back to the fastball. Let's say this, Nolan Arenado's a lot like Vinny Castillo. You cannot sneak a fastball no matter how hard you throw by him on the inner half. Vinny used to say, you can't sneak the cheese past the rat.
That's right.
Line drive, base hit, Rockies take the lead. Blackmon scores. 8-7 Colorado. Nolan Arenado coming through.
You cannot sneak cheese past the rat. Nolan is too quick inside. Nolan has a nose for those RBIs. Nolan hit 400 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position this season. That leads the National League. Subaru Superboat. What makes Nolan's swing so sweet is how short it is. Not a lot of movement, Loads up his legs, drives through the baseball, and his barrel gets through the zone so fast.
Boy, what a gratifying hit that was for Arenado. 2 on for Cargo, who's 2 for 4 tonight. He's barreled everything this evening. Robbed of extra bases in the second on a running catch by Brandon Drury in left center. Single and a double after that, and then a fly ball that was well hit to deep center as last time.
The Rockies tonight, so good with runners in scoring position. 7 for 13 on the evening, but the number that should stick out of the 7 for 13, 7 singles.
Here's the 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's almost as if Cargo, in a lot of his bats, has to get that one big swing out of his system and then go about his business, right?
Yeah, you get 3 to play with. Might as well fire the big one every now and then.
2 outs, nobody on. And Blackmon gets hit by a pitch. And then a couple minutes later, he's crossing home plate. Stole a base and moved to third on a throwing error by Castillo on the very next pitch. And after the walk to LeMahieu, Nolan delivered him with a 2-1 line drive to left field. Charlie among the league leaders in runs scored. And it's 3-1 on Cargo. Coming up and in. Mark Reynolds is on deck. DJ ought to take off.
Oh, yeah. Castillo walked out in between pitches, and he told the defense.
He's going to throw to second.
Yeah. There's nobody coming third. I'm not throwing it to third. Let him have the bag.
Tell you what, it would be very interesting, and it would cross everybody up. But if Cargo laid down a bunt on the left side, DJ would have a chance to score. Because DJ's going to take off, you got to assume, on the pitch.
And this is where the comfort level for players with the shift is starting to come into play. Because a pitcher looks behind him and looks at his defense. I have no third baseman. Where am I supposed to go?
Three and 1. Here goes DJ. Swung on and missed, and he gets a stolen base. And appropriately, Nolan did not try to follow him. The advantage is clear. Now, if you get a ball in the dirt that gets past Castillo, you get a free run.
There it is.
And there it is. There's your free run. Oh, now Nolan got himself hung up, dives back in safely. Rockies have a 2-run lead. I don't understand that. I just think you can shift too much at times.
It's just
I mean,
the way
you get 90 feet at this level is precious.
Just puts so much pressure on the defense, and it puts pressure on the pitcher to make sure you took away his secondary pitch by allowing them to run up. That was a split finger he just spiked. You keep the third baseman where he's at. That allows him to keep that split finger in play, because now you go ahead and you throw that, throw it to the backstop. That's a run.
9-7. That's a huge run. Huge run. Mark Reynolds at the plate. A little larger cushion for Ottavino. Outside, 2-0 on Mark. Get a base hit in the 7th inning, stayed in the ball game at first base. The Rockies finish this one out, Spilly. It won't take the sting away from Wednesday night, but it'll be a really gratifying win. Down 5-0 in the middle innings. 3-0 with Hundley on deck. All of a sudden, Burgos has been rattled by the wild pitch. The Bracho man is warming up.
We knew coming into this inning.
Bracho.
Yeah, we knew coming into this inning, Burgos had great stuff, good fastball, less hits than innings pitched, but the walks.
And now the bases are loaded. Oh, we said these are two bullpens that have really struggled. And now Chip Hale will go on out, bring in Silvino Bracho.
Started so innocently with a hit by pitch.
With 2 outs. Almost forget that. And now 5 straight have reached, and there's only been 1 hit. That was the Arenado base hit to give the Rockies the lead.
At Coors Field, Rockies take the lead 9-7. Bases are loaded. Fans, the first 15,000 through the gates this Sunday, September 4th, will receive a Carlos Gonzalez Venezuelan flag bobblehead. Gotta love that. Silvino Bracho is coming in now to clean up the mess. Look at the numbers for him. Not good. Remember the walk-off home run that Mark Reynolds hit was off Bracho earlier this season. Good fastball, decent slider. That's not a position you want to be in when you're coming in out of the bullpen. Bases loaded, 2 outs.
So Nick Hundley with the bases full. Nick is 1 for 3 and a walk. 9-7 Colorado. This ball crushed to deep left, way back. Grand slam, Nick Hundley. Did that ever get out in a hurry?
Fitting tonight, when you look at the Rockies offense, able to piece together at bats using singles. Nick Hundley with the grand salami. He's been talking about using that ace swing. Bracho trying to sneak a pitch past Nick Hundley, and it's his first career grand slam, and he loves it.
What do we say? Nick's had so many big hits the last couple of weeks. This is big because it turns this game, you hope, into now a laugher. First career slam, as Spilly said. 5th slam this year for the Rockies. Daniel Descalso, the happy papa's going to pinch hit.
We know Nick Hundley has dad strength. Let's see if Daniel Descalso, his wife Julia, gave birth the other night to a little girl named Amelia. It's their first child.
That's a beautiful name, Amelia Christine. That's a beautiful sight. Boy, that thing was loud. Daniel drives one high and deep right field. This one's got a chance to fly. Home run for the baby girl.
That is beautiful. Daniel Descalso, some dad strength.
That was dad strength. The Rockies are throwing up a 7th spot here in the 8th. That is something.
I love Descalso's swing. It's so quiet. Just goes on his, puts a little weight on his back leg and shifts forward and lets the barrel come straight through the zone.
Pretty good stop. And just did get him at first base. He went underhand. Adames out twice this inning on bang-bang plays at first base. It was 7-7 when the inning began. The Rockies are now up a touch on Arizona. 14-7. Grand slam, Nick Hundley. Solo blast from the new daddy.
Career grand slam. Oh, and don't forget about the brand new dad, Daniel Descalso, going deep, back-to-back jacks and the Rockies are up 14-7. Corey, I thought the football game was across the way.
I'm not sure.
We're not going to talk about that
the
college football game at all. I'll be good with this football game at Coors Field right here. What an offensive explosion. I mean, earlier it was the young guys in the bottom of the order getting the job done. Then we saw the guys in the top of the order at the top of the ninth getting it done.
Yeah, more importantly, the bench, 5 for 6, 3 for, I think 4 for 4 pinch hitting. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I'm pretty sure that was Nolan's 100th run. We got to find out who was the last 100th RBI, 100 run guy.
That's amazing right there. We'll have plenty more impressive stats coming up in the Toyota postgame show right after the game, guys.
Yes, you will have plenty to talk about, Jenny and Corey.
Well, and Corey just put Dougie to work.
That was the 100th run. Scored from Nolan. 7 pinch hit home runs for the Rockies this year. That's 4th in baseball. Cardinals have hit 14. Slider just missed 2-1. Ottavino working a Goldschmidt. The grand slams this year. Nick Hundley's joined by Charlie Blackmon, Carlos Gonzalez, Ryan Rayburn, and in the last game, Stephen Cardullo. Back-to-back games that the Rockies have hit a slam. Two. Ground ball to second. DJ. Good play. 1 out.
Well, to answer Corey Sullivan's question, Carlos Gonzalez was the last Rocky in 2010 to have 100 runs scored and 100 RBIs. That was the year he won the batting title.
Castillo takes outside ball 1. Even though there's a 7-run lead, this is all business for Ottavino. He wants to have the kind of command that he's accustomed to that went awry for him on Wednesday. A couple walks and then ultimately the Tolles grand slam that beat the Rockies. Slider on 2-0s in there at the knees. Carlos Estevez is the pitcher of record on the positive side. Enrique Burgos, pitcher of record on the other side of things. Here's the 2-1.
100 runs, 100 RBIs. That's a pretty impressive feat. And when you look at Nolan, September 2nd, last year there was only 5 guys in the entire major leagues to have 100 RBIs and 100 run scores. That was Josh Donaldson, Chris Davis, Jose Bautista, Goldschmidt, and Yoenis Cespedes.
Slider, see you later, 2 outs. And that'll bring up Tomas.
It's good to see the slider starting to get that late depth. Otto might not be too pleased with the location. It was pretty much center cut, but the depth of the pitch and the location, just the way he throws across his body, get away with some pitches.
That pitch is outside, ball 1 on Tomas. It's way inside. Here's tomorrow night's starting pitchers. Tyler Chatwood returns from the disabled, or not from the disabled list, just well, actually from the disabled list. I forgot he went back on. So Tyler comes back. Braden Shipley will have the baseball for the 8th time as a starter for Arizona. Chatty had 1 rehab start. 2-1. The Rockies will go with a 6-man rotation, at least for right now. You can get Jeff Hoffman his starts.
It's smart with these guys, young pitchers, some of them with loads that they've never had before.
2-2. Rockies with 2 explosive innings. 6 in the 5th. Scored a run in the 6th inning, and then 7 in the 8th. We're up 14-7, a strike away. Here's the 2-2. Three and 2. On the swing, strike 3, ball game over. Rockies win it 14-7 over Arizona in a wild affair. A ball game that the Rockies entered the bottom of the 5th trailing 5-0, and they had 1 hit. They end up winning, going away 14-7. Carlos Estevez with the victory. He's 3 and 7. Burgos takes the loss. He is 1 and 2. Nick Hundley, his first career grand slam. We saw Raimel Tapia have his first career base hit. Scored his first career run. Walt got to use a good portion of his September roster in that dugout. Good news all the way around.
I love
our
Nolan
Arenado. Yep, our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Nolan with a huge clutch hit. I mean, may get lost tomorrow, Spilly, because the Rockies ended up winning by 7, but that was a 2-out base hit with the game tied.
That reaction says it all. The loud, let's go!
He is an RBI hog. Our Jimmy John's delivery of the game provided tonight, as it has many times in the past, by Nolan Arenado. Smiles all around. The Rockies win it 14-7. To center field we go. Here's Jenny and Sully.
All right, Corey, name the hero.